Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Gerard Black in the Philippines with the truth. I want to welcome you to my channel, all my subscribers, my future subscribers, all my hey, let me check this dude out, all my scallywag, peaches, triggers, lovers, haters, and commenters. Each one of you, I welcome you to my channel. Well, I thought I'd start this video off by showing you my full moon. There it is. It's a full moon. I don't know why it looks like there's something's blocking. Okay, there it is, the full moon. Okay, but yet and still, it's a full moon, the first of the month, and I made it. Oh, well, I hope you like my full moon. And one of the reasons why I said that I howled because at the end of the month I made it. You know, I made it without having to do my daytime night move, um, which is, you know, my having to do something to get money and then have to put it back at the end of the month. So my goal was to not having to do that daytime night move, I call it, and have to put the money back at the first of the month. So now, keep in mind, this is something that I've done a lot of times. But here in the Philippines, you know, it became, you know, uh, downright scary that I still have to do that. But this month here, I made it. That's why I howled. So I'm very fortunate to make it to this month without having doing my daytime now move. So which means now I can move forward for saving for the birth of our child, and start looking at preparations for that. You know, while we're talking about preparations, you know, we had some bad news, um, or it could be, in certain parts of the world, when your mother's sick or your father's sick or something like this, and especially when it's suffering from a terminal illness, um, they don't really let the family know, or they really don't let the patient know how serious it is. And if they do or are told how serious it is, then and the care now falls on you to do what needs to be done to either try to combat it or either just you know say que sera, what will be, and oftentimes there isn't enough money to really seek the full care that you need, to combat whatever illness that you're going through. And it's um, it's it's just how it is. It's just how it is. And sometimes it's just a matter of just being comfortable, making someone comfortable. You know, uh, like a friend of mine's father was very old and diabetes and all that stuff like this, and yeah, they could extend his life by cutting off his legs. But it's like, are you kidding me? No, you know what I'm saying? He's like, no, no. What kind of life would I? I'm living a bad life now, but what kind of life am I going to live in the Philippines in a wheelchair with no legs? I don't get around now as it is, and then the burden that was placed on the family, knowing that there's not that type of uh, um, security, financially to really, and it's not, they don't have insurance, life insurance or Medicaid, Medi-Cal or something here in the Philippines that, that can really, you know, extend your life, in spite of, they do have a couple of programs. I'm not very versed on it, but then even, how it must work, I'm sure, they're not in the business of spending, um, oodles and doodles of money on you to keep you alive when you know inevitably, you're gonna pass. So uh, we have a friend, who was who we found out that she was terminal, and she kept it to herself. Her and her family, her close, her partner, you know, she suffered in silence. You know, uh, uh, she probably made the best decision for her and her family. Knowing um, the burden of the strain that was going to be placed on them, is just best to not. And we went to go see her in the hospital. In fact, I did a video about her, and uh, I ultimately would like to have, interviewed her about what she was going through here in the Philippines. It never came about. Now, I know me and I, we kept saying that we have to go see her, we have to go see her. More so, uh, um, because not only is the right thing to do, is what you want to do, but you know, uh, her more of an urgency on her part than on mine, and let me make that clear. You know, um, but we didn't get around to doing it, and we just found out that she passed away. We saw her husband last Sunday, and he said that he wouldn't tell me her condition. He just said go see her. And again, you know, you know, I thought we had all the time in the world. I thought, when we did want to go see, I wanted to bring her money, so to help out with whatever it is they need. But you know how I handle money, goes through my fingers like water, and I kept, and this how tight this month was, you know, uh, and I told me a couple of days ago we'll go see her on the first of the month, and you know, and might make it to the end of the month with 2,000 pesos, only 2,000 pesos, is like I said, was a big bonus to me. So she passed away. Never got that chance to go see her, and I wonder if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You know, um, I know when I know for me that when someone's in the hospital, I've gone and see them, and I say, is anything I can get you? They say no. Is there anything I can do for you? Is there anything you want? I say no. And if all your answers are no, then in my mind, I have filled my obligation to you, because I'm here asking you to let me help or let me do something for you. And uh, so if you say no, then okay, well then, you know, there's nothing I can do for you. So um, I know when I was coming up young in North Carolina, I went to a lot of funerals. I saw a lot of people, get buried, relatives or accidents or, plain stupidity, you know. And I got so tired of going to funerals, I just decided that I just didn't want to go to no more funerals. I just did not want to go. If I'd rather see you alive, walking the earth, jousting with you. That's my last memory I want to have of you. I don't want my last memory of you being stretched out in the box. I just don't. I just don't. And I didn't go to a lot of close funerals. To me, yeah, for that reason. No, I have the memory in my mind of you being vivid, and you being animated, you being, my friend. See, so That's how, so, I kind of shied away from, from going to funerals, you know, but, she passed away. And I don't know what the circumstances surround the cost of burial or the cost of this, but to my understanding, somebody has stepped up and said, we will pay for it, or I will pay for the burial arrangements, because he knew the conditions of the financial conditions of the family, and that happens a lot here in the Philippines, is that someone, takes it upon themselves, or a group take it upon themselves to want to help out. There was this foreigner. He was from South Africa. Big guy. Give me another beer. One of those type of guy. Very jolly, very happy. You know, he had a lovely partner. My God, sometimes you look at these guys and say, how the hell do you pull something like that? But he did. I think she had one kid, two kids, or whatever. And they were together for a few years, a few years. And out of nowhere, he upped and died. Out of They knew he had health issues. I mean, anyone that big and that, you know, uh, uh, unaware of their own health issues or going through health issues, and just didn't, uh, heed to living a better way of life, you know, if something was bound to happen. So he dropped dead. There's no other way to say it. He dropped dead. And she knew that he had a daughter in South Africa who was totally against, him being in the Philippines. She didn't even want him in the Philippines. She didn't even, she hated the fact that some other family or some other woman was enjoying uh, her father's life away from her. But sometimes there's a lot of jealousy that goes through a family, uh, foreigners, families in the whatever country they come from, that resent that they're over here in the Philippines with a fine little young thing, tender thing, you know what I'm saying? Old enough to be their granddaughter, and they resent it, and it happens a lot, you know. But anyway, he passed away, so they contacted her, and she flew to the Philippines. Now, mind you, they had a nice, comfortable home. I mean, he had a very nice, comfortable home, you know. But she came, you know, uh, 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 they put her up in the hotel. I think her and her husband, or her and her boyfriend, something like this. Something like that. And because she was the daughter, she cleaned out everything in the house. She took the computer. She took, everything that wasn't nailed down. She took out of the house and took it away from that Filipino family. You know, even the money that they were raising for his burial, she took it, and they were shocked, just to see how, it wasn't a matter of her coming here and seeing how much he was loved, how much people loved him, and what type of life he was living, and tried to see the world through his eyes. No, instead, she came here with vengeance. She came here with revenge. You took my father away from me. Now he's dead, and I'm taking everything away from you. And that's what he did. He sent her back to the Stone Age as far as materialistic things were concerned, and took everything away from her. And even when it came down to burial, they had to pony up and pay for the cost, because the money that they raised, she took it. She took it. You know? So, you know, I don't know what type of provisions that were made or whatever like that, but But she had the right to do whatever she wanted to do with whatever his property or whatever it was, because she was his father. That was her father, and in any law, a father-daughter relationship is a lot more powerful than a foreigner and his pretty young thing relationship. And that's what happened. You know, so anyway, you know, so being able to prepare for something like that is something that no one wants to think about doing. You know, you know, even my own mortality. I think about, what do I want to happen with my body after it's all over with. You know, and I tell everyone, I just want to be cremated. I want to be cremated and my ashes sprinkled in the wind. Go to a high place and just let the wind take me to you. Because whenever you have that good warm breeze, on that hot day or that night when you're sweating and you feel that breeze come through and cools you off, or that the breath of, of hot air when you need one warms your body, I want you to say to yourself, that's Gerard. And I know here in the Philippines, it's important. It's very important. You know, like there was another friend of mine, my best man's German's friend. I don't know why we got anything of that, but he passed away, and he wanted to be buried in the Philippines. He wanted to be um, cremated in the Philippines. So his wife and family all came, to bury him or to cremate him or bring his ashes, to be done away with. And he wanted to be cremated on the water between Cebu and Dumaguete. So which means once you take the ferry across, somewhere a halfway point, he wanted to be sprinkled in that water there. The family did it. But they kept enough ashes of him to be able to have a burial plot for him. Because it's important to the Filipinos that they have a place to go as a memorial to you. Uh, there are a certain amount of days that they um, want to go visit your grave. Uh, there's a day, a couple of holidays where that's all they do is that they go give honor to the dead. Go give honor to the dead. And so it's customary, you know. And besides, the person who are living, you know, uh, if they want to, you know, uh, go lay flowers or whatever they can. But you see, one thing I want to point out before I end this video, because I want to go in another direction, but I'm on this direction right now. If a Filipino is married or with a foreigner, under whatever circumstances, and if the old guy dies, you know, how hard is she to take it? How hard is she supposed to be in mourning? Or, as Tupac would say, how long will they mourn me? How long will they mourn me? You know what I'm saying? She may not mourn him at all. She may just say, okay, that's the end of that chapter, you know, turn the page, you know what I'm saying? And go on with her life, you know. And some of you may think that to be cold, but what else can she do? She know why she's been there. She know what circumstances of the relationship. There may not have been no true love there. And as I say that, finding love in the Philippines or loving in the Philippines is a hard thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, you didn't come, 6,000 miles for love. You know what I'm saying? You like to tell yourself that, but you came 6,000 miles for companionship. And hopefully that, somewhere along the line, it'll grow into a love. It will grow into a love, but not love as you know it, because, I really feel that the Filipinos are, you know, you know, until I see otherwise, are incapable of loving, you the way you see in the movies, the way you grew up in. Stella, Stella, like that, you know, and So how long is she supposed to know? Well, that same statement can be made about a man. If his partner dies, and he does whatever you know he needs to do, but as far as he's concerned, is okay, she's gone, I'm no longer in a relation. I'm no longer in a relationship. I don't have to walk around in black. For months. Before I get back into the dating uh, 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 the dating circuit. So for him, it's the same thing. It's just that shoes on a different foot. So be that as it may, you know, you know, all our prayers go out to her, her partner, her husband, her kid, her family. And by all means, we know she is in a better place. She no longer has to suffer anymore. She no longer has to be afraid anymore. And she no more has to wonder anymore. So this is Gerard Black in the Philippines with the truth. Remember, dreams and nothing more than plans awaiting action. Never disrespect the elderly. Always pull someone up, baby. And sometimes you'll be the only one to see your vision. And the best revenge in life is to live good. I'm living good today. I hope you are too. And if you're lucky enough to have a woman like Ali Woodson, former lead singer of the Temptation One song, treat her like a lady. And ladies, if you're lucky enough to have a good man like me, make him feel like a king. And never say no. I'll always love you know. Man, you live to be 100 and me 100 minus a day. So I'll never know that nice people like you have ever gone away. That's for Frankie Crockett, DJ from WBLS, New York FM. I'll talk to you later. Peace.